All right, we are live. You're welcome to today's stream. Let's just give everyone a few minutes to join in. I'm going to be sharing the link to the WhatsApp group right away. So please join in so we can commence with today's lecture. For those of you that are already here, you're welcome to today's edition. Thank you for being around. I'll be dropping the link to others so they can join in. All right, I've dropped the link. Let's just give them 1 minute or 2 minutes max. By 10 minutes we'll be we will be starting properly. All right, so let's go. If you can hear me, just say I can hear you in the comment section so I can be sure that we are together. If you can hear me, just comment I can hear you in the comment section. Yes. I'm waiting for a response. All right, I can hear you. I can see the. I can hear you. It's coming in. It's coming in. All right. So once more, you're welcome to the third day of the bootcamp data analysis with Excel. Now it is. There's been a wonderful journey right from the day one, day two, and this is the day three. God has been faithful. I've seen considerable improvement in the submission of a lot of us. For many people, I got a testimonial of someone who said she has never used Excel before, and this class was the first class that she started exploring the Excel app, and what she submitted was actually wow. I am happy that beyond this class being free, it has been very impactful, and that we have learned the basics right from using our mobile phones, using our laptops. We have been able to navigate the Excel interface. The goal of demystifying the Excel app is a success, and for that, I am grateful. So, thank you for availing yourself. And for everyone that submitted their assignments, I want to say we have taken records of them. We have already kept the grading system going, so you don't have any issue whatsoever. We are going to do the needful in compilation for getting your certificates. Just to remind you that this is going to be the last day for the free class. By next week, Monday, we're going to be moving into a deeper level of Excel, but that will be a paid class. And for that paid class, it's not necessarily for the class per se, but it's going to be a commitment slash certification fee. What do I mean by that? We often know that in Nigeria, people, or will I say worldwide, not particular peculiar to Nigeria, people normally do not value things that are free. Just because it is free does not make it void of value. So just to add a little commitment from their end, and to also help us in processing the certificate and other added perks, it is important that we add the fee, which is the essence of the fee. But our goal ultimately is to see that you grow, is to see that you become better, is to see that you learn Excel, is to see that you become a added advantage wherever you find yourself, either be it at home, either be it in business, either be it at your workplace. At least let it be said that data analysis is part of you. That's our ultimate goal. So for that, I want to say a very warm welcome to those that are just joining, and thank you for being around. That's my intro speech. I'll be moving next to Excel interface to do what we have for today. So let's just take a short prayer. Father, we ask that you please teach us tonight. We ask that you please help us, that we will get everything we want to learn. And not only will we learn them, but we'll also apply them. Because one thing to learn is another thing to apply. Help us to apply them correctly. In Jesus' name we've prayed. All right, so let's go on. We'll be moving forward now. I'm going to be sharing my screen. If you can see my screen, just let me know. Please, if you have not submitted your assignments, I'm giving us the grace. The reason is because some people are joining in just of recent, and I got some private DMs telling me how busy they are during the weekday. So I'm going to give us the grace of the weekend. Please make sure you submit your assignment this weekend, because if your assignment is not complete, you will not be issued a certificate. I've emphasized it that the certificate is dependent on three criteria: the assignment, the attendance, and also your capstone project. There is going to be a project that you can showcase as something you have designed with Excel, at the end of this boot camp. So it is important that you do your assignments, you tick your attendance. If you have not done that, you can rush to WhatsApp, click on the attendance um, form and fill in your attendance. That's said and done. Thank you, and let's move on to what we have for today. All right, so I'm going to be sharing my screen. Once you see it's up, just let me know by saying I can see your screen so that we can know and we can commence the lecture for today. Um, all right, I'm sharing this right away. If you can see my screen, just indicate by I can see your screen. I think my screen is live. Yes, I can see the screen is live, but just indicate so I can be sure that we are together. If you can see my screen, indicates that I can see your screen. I'm waiting for us. I'm waiting for us. Let's drop the comments. Let's drop the comment. If you can see my screen, just drop the comments. I can see your screen. All right, I can see it. We're already seeing the screen. Now, today we're going to be looking at three major topics. It is basic Excel functions. That's the topic for today. Basic Excel functions. And we're going to be seeing three topics or subtopics under it. It is intro to formulas. That's introduction to formulas, relative and absolute cell references, and functions. Now, these three subtopics are broad. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to explain the basics and the intermediates to the lengthiest way possible that you will understand. And I'm going to, for those that have gotten the ebook, you will see that you can follow up my explanation on the ebook by following the pictorial guide on the ebook. That said, let's move on to what we have for today. All right, so the expectation of this class is that by the end of this session, you'll be able to learn how to use cell references to create a simple formula in Excel. Yes, you will learn all about absolute and relative cell references and how they are used in Excel. You also learn the different parts of a function and how to create arguments to calculate values and cell references. Yes, you're going to be learning these three things tonight. So, introduction to formula. One of the most powerful features in Excel is the ability to calculate numerical information using formulas. Whether you agree or not, the strong points of Excel is its ability to calculate formulas. You cannot calculate formulas on other Microsoft platform with ease. Microsoft Word cannot calculate formula, PowerPoint cannot calculate formula, Clipchamp cannot calculate formula, Notes cannot calculate formula, and a whole lot cannot calculate formula. But Excel does not just calculate simple formula, but complex mathematical equation can be calculated using Excel. You can set up a function, you can set up a quadratic equation using Excel. Excel can add, subtract, multiply, and divide. Your basic board mass, Excel can do that. But Excel does not operate using board mass, it operates using PEMDAS. Next week, I'm going to be explaining what PEMDAS means for us in the advanced formula integration. PEMDAS is what Excel uses. So Excel uses standard operators for formulas, a plus sign for addition, minus sign for subtraction, asterisk for multiplication, forward slash for division, and caret for exponents, right? So we're going to be seeing what each of these means, or we're going to be seeing examples that will help us become better. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen now and we'll move straight to the Excel interface. All right, so I'm going to be sharing my screen for the Excel interface. All right, if you can see my that I can see your screen. Okay, it's not yet working, so I'm going to reshare again. All right, I've reshared the screen. I think my screen is now live. Yes. The Excel interface is now currently live. So we are going to be starting with what we have. Remember, the first topic is intro to formulas. Intro to formulas. For those that are jotting, you can jot. For those that are writing, you can write. And for those that are saving and will come back to come and watch the video, then let's proceed. So what do I mean by formulas? I've explained earlier. So one of the most powerful features in Excel, as I said, is the ability to calculate numerical information using formulas. Just like a calculator, Excel can add, subtract, multiply, and divide. In this lesson, we'll be showing you how to use cell references to do all those and more. All right. So let's see. Let's take 5. I'm just typing random numbers, not that I have them, just random numbers. All right. So we're going to be playing around these numbers with the basic formula. So in Excel, in writing formula, it is a must. I repeat, it is a must that you start with the equals to sign. Now, the equals to sign is your way of telling Excel, I want to write a formula. Do we get it? Before you write any formula, you must type the equals to sign. The instant you type the equals to sign, you have told Excel, I am about to write a formula. And instantly, Excel will be ready to receive the instruction you're about to pass. Remember, in the last class, I told us about what a cell reference is and how you can get to a cell. So let's use the first one, A1. I clicked on A1 and I want to add it to A2. All I have to do is hold the shift key and put the plus sign. Plus means addition, and I will add it to the A2 and I press enter. It's as simple as that. Very, very simple. Excel will not tell you you want to use 10 minutes to calculate. It's instantly. Let's try another one. Equals to A5 plus A3. Enter. Instantly, it gives you your answer. Let's try a minus sign. Equals to A5 minus A2. You can see, if it's even going to have a negation sign, Excel we put it. Let's see. 2 minus 8. You can see it. Okay, let me increase my screen so that you can see better. Negation 6 minus 6. So Excel is able to understand mathematical computation. You don't have to be the one to tell it what you want. It understands mathematical computation. I've given us basics of addition and subtraction. Let's try multiplication now. Okay, let me do it in this next cell. Equals to A1 multiply by A2. Enter. 10. Very fast. Very fast. So let's try the division sign. Equals to A5 slash or divided by A2. 4. Let's try something that's supposed to have decimal. Equals to this divided by this. You see, Excel will give you the decimal. If you want to round up or round off, you can do it using what I taught you. Look at it. Excel will round off by itself. It's automatic. You don't have to use your head. You don't have to calculate it. Excel is a working machine for this. So that's how you input basic formulas on the Excel. Okay? If you are following, just tell me I am following so that I'll be sure I'm not talking to myself. If you are following up to this point, you have understood the addition, the subtraction, the division, and the multiplication. Just indicate on the comment section by saying I am following or I understand. All right. Thank you. I can see that we are following. So basically, that's what Excel is. It is a working machine. You don't even have to worry about whether the calculation is wrong. Except your formula is wrong, Excel will not give you a wrong answer. I've never gotten a wrong answer using Excel, except you have a wrong formula. Don't forget, except you have a wrong formula. So if there's an issue with your formula, automatically your answer will be wrong. So that's it about the easy part of um formulas. Now we're going to go a little bit deeper, just a little bit deeper. And how I will do that is by let me mix up some addition and subtraction, so that it will not just be one. All right, so this will be the last thing we're going to be doing in this intro. And in the by next week, I'm going to be teaching you how Excel does its calculation. Remember I told you that Excel does not use board mass. Remember I said to, why am I reiterating this statement? The reason is simple. Because Excel does not use board mass, if you use your knowledge of board mass to put in a formula in Excel, it is going to give you a wrong answer. I repeat again, if you use your knowledge of board mass to put in a formula in Excel, it is going to give you a wrong answer. Excel use PEMDAS, PEMDAS, PEMDAS. That's what Excel uses, and I'm going to be teaching you that next week. All right, so let's move on. All right, you're still asking me to zoom my screen more. Okay, I'm going to do that. Let me increase the zoom so it will be bigger. I want us to see clearly. All right, I think it's fine now. All right, so let's move on. I said I want to do one more computation. This time I want to add addition and subtraction. So let's do it together. 5 plus 2 is 7. 7 plus 7 is 14. 14 minus 8 will be what? Let's see. Equals to 5 plus this plus 7 minus 8. Can you see it? A1 plus A2 plus A4 minus A5. Then you click your enter sign. Excel did not say I will add this one, then I will add this one, then I will add this one. It gave the instant answer instantly. That's how you can work around the Excel interface. So I have introduced us to formulas. Then I'm going to be moving on to the next thing that I have to teach us today. Then we are going to be moving straight to the next topic. All right, let me just do something briefly. If you have a question as regarding what I've just explained, you can ask so I can address it in the next 2 minutes, and we move on to the next topic we have to teach for today. I want us to finish in good time. That's why I've reduced the size of what I wanted to teach before. I want you to have ample time to assimilate what I'm going to be teaching you. I don't just want to come here to just talk, but I want you to also benefit and enjoy the class fully. So if you have any question, just let me know in the comment section and I'll address it right away. And if you don't have any question, I'm going to be moving on to the next topic or subtopic that we have for tonight. So do you have any question? Okay, I'm not seeing any questions, so I will presume we have no question. So moving on, we are going to be seeing the next topic we have, and that topic is relative and absolute reference. Somebody might be wondering, which one is relative and absolute cell reference? It is important I teach you this because many people use Excel but they don't know anything about relative and absolute cell reference. Yes, these two types of cell reference will determine whether you will have a good result or you have a bad result. And I will explain. Just follow me as we go carefully. So I'm going to be defining what the both of them mean. Then I'm going to be giving you a practical explanation using the Excel interface. Okay. Someone is asking, um, Excel doesn't follow. Yes, it, Excel doesn't follow board mass. It follows PEMDAS, 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 PEMDAS. DAS. That's what it follows, not BODMAS. PEMDAS. Second person is asking, I didn't get the approximation. Okay, you can check the last class we had. That's the class we had on Wednesday. I explained um approximation clearly there. Even on Monday, the class we had, when I was explaining the interface, I also explained approximation clearly. All right, so let's move on. We have a lot to cover and we have short time. All right, so as I was explaining, relative and absolute references. Why is it important? By the end of this lesson, you will understand why it is a necessity to understand what it means to have relative and absolute reference. So what is a relative reference? A relative reference is a reference that change when a formula is copied to another cell, whereas absolute reference, on the other hand, remains constant no matter where they are copied. As simple as that. But you see this definition I defined will determine whether you will get a wrong result or a good result. Now I'm going to be teaching you using practical, so please let's follow. I'm going to be using this same data set. I'm going to be deleting everything I have here. So let's go on. We all know that 5 plus 2 is 7, right? Equals to, let's start, equals to this plus this. Enter. 7. The instance I copy this formula, Control C, and I paste it here, watch what will happen. Oh. Remember that what I added was A1 and A2, 5 plus 2. Remember, Control V. How did I turn to 5? Let me show you what happened. Excel automatically change the formula to A2 plus A3. That is 2 plus 3. Why? Because it is called a relative reference. Let's try it again. Let me take the formula here again. See, it has changed to 10. Why is that? Excel has added A3 plus A4. A3 plus A4. Oftentimes, many people has made mistake. They will just write a formula, they will copy and paste, then they will see the total is wrong. They will say, Excel is giving me wrong answer. No, sir, no, ma. Excel is not giving you wrong answer. You are the one that is not understanding how Excel works. You are using relative reference instead of using absolute reference. So this is relative reference. It's okay. Let me show you something now. I still copy same cell. I come here and I paste. You see, it gives me 0. Why? Excel is adding A7 plus A8. Did I type A7 plus A8? No. What I typed was A1 plus A2. But according to the law of relative reference, Excel will think this two cell is close to their self. Maybe I want to type something close to their self. So when I bring it to this box, it will look for something close to their self, A7 and A8. When I bring to these blocks, it will look for something close to their self, A3 and A4. That's how relative reference works. And it is not only for addition, it works for all formula like that. All formula. That's relative reference. Do we understand relative reference, or should I re-explain again? Yes? Did we understand relative reference, or should I re-explain again? Let's be fast with the response. Let's be fast. We're working with time. I want us to finish in good time today. Okay, someone said no, so I will re-explain again. All right. Now, just understand this. Relative reference means that the cell that you are copying that has a formula, when you copy it to another cell, the formula should change. Simple. The formula automatically change, and it is not you that determine how this formula change. It is Excel. Excel will use his smartness to calculate it. And I made example using this. The first one, look at it here. I've deleted everything so that we can do it again. Equals to A1 plus A2. You can see that A1 and A2 is close to themselves. If I click enter, it becomes 7. Correct. Now, when I copy this for this cell and I paste it down, what Excel does is that it will now look for what is close to themselves again. A2 and A3 is close to themselves. He has plus it together and given me as the answer. If I take it down, it look for A3 and A4. It's following the format. Now look at the format here. This cell now is this A1, the cell that is directly on its line, and the cell that is under it I added together. Right? Look at this one too. The cell that is directly on its line and the cell that is under it, that's what's added together. Look at this one too. The cell that is directly on its line and the cell that is under it that is added together. Excel is smart. Let me show you so that you will know that I'm not just doing magic. One more thing. Equals to A1 plus A3. You can see I purposely jump. I jump something now. Watch. Oh, I click enter. Give me it. If I copy it, Excel 2 will jump and I paste it. 9. How did he get 9? A2, the one directly in his line, he also jumped 1 and came to this one, A4. So Excel is smart. It will look at a pattern in your formula, then it will replicate that pattern. So relative reference only copies the pattern and tell Excel, oh yeah, oh, replicate it. So if you put a formula and you do not lock it, you do not make it absolute, and you are copying the formula, it will just be changing. You will have finished before you realize that this is not the value that I'm expecting to see. It's because Excel is helping you to change it. And let's say, okay, I'll use this last example to explain, and I trust God that we're going to understand. Pay attention. Pay attention. My goal, right? My goal. Okay, let me do it this way so that we can understand very well. It is my desire that we all understand by the time we finish. So let me do it this way. My goal, I'm using color coding now so that I can explain in depth. All right, my goal is to use the yellow cell to add up the numbers in the green cell. The yellow cell is 5. I want you to know 5 plus 2 is what? 5 plus 3 is what? 5 plus 7 is what? 5 plus 8 is what? That is my goal. And I came to this cell. I say equals to 5 plus 2. Enter. I now got 7. Hey, I'm happy. I'm correct. I said, because I've write the formula, I'm correct. And I copy it. And I brought it here. I said, let me paste it. 5 plus 3, is it 5? No. So, yes, I wrote the formula. But because I did not understand that Excel does this calculation, I've already failed. Paste again. 5 plus 3, is it 10? No. Why? Excel is not recognizing this 5. Excel is recognizing the cell. So what Excel does is, he saw this 5 as cell A1. He didn't see it as a number. He saw it as cell A1, right? Then the plus 2, he saw the plus 2 as cell A2. Then he added it together and give me 7. When I came here, what he did, he saw this one as A2. Then he now look for the one that's under A2, A3, added it together and give me. Have you seen that I will have failed this test? Reason is because I'm using relative reference. So now I'm going to be explaining absolute reference to you. What's the difference between relative and absolute reference? The difference is simple. Absolute reference means you are locking the cell with a key. You are telling Excel, no matter what happened, this cell, oh, you say, okay, why am I calculating? Any cell you like, you can calculate. I can even go and calculate in cell Z. Excel does not care the cell you use. The main thing is the cell reference. As long as I pick a cell reference, Excel will use the reference. Sorry about that. Excel will use the cell reference. So the cell you calculate does not matter to Excel. The main thing is that when you are telling him where he's speaking from, use the right cell reference. Okay, let's continue. All right. So what is absolute reference? I've told us that the difference between absolute reference and relative reference is that absolute, you lock it with a key. You tell Excel, no matter where I copy this cell to, no matter where I copy this formula to, don't change what I asked you to add. That's what you're telling Excel. You're telling Excel that if I say A1, don't help me and use your brain to change it to A2. Leave it in my A1. So let's try it. Remember, our goal is to use 5 to add 2, use 5 to add 3, use 5 to add 7, but we want to type it one by one. So let's go. The same formula equals to, you type the A1. But this time, please pay attention. You will add a dollar sign. A dollar sign is the sign for locking in in Excel. If I put dollar here, dollar sign, what I tell Excel is that this particular cell will lock it for me. You can decide to lock a row, you can decide to lock a column, you can decide to lock a cell. As I've done it like this, what I did is I lock a cell. If I add another one here, I've locked the row and column of that cell. That's what I just did. I told Excel, if I change, except it's A and 1, don't do anything again. That's what it means, right? So use a dollar sign to lock a cell. You use a dollar sign to do what? To lock a cell. Once you have locked with the dollar sign, I can guarantee you there is no any problem again. You don't have any issue. You can't have any um, problem with computation. So let's see. Plus, I don't want this one to be locked because I want it to be changing. Enter. It's still gives us 7. Now let me copy it. And I come here and I paste it. 5 plus 3, is it not 8? Correct. Come next. 5 plus 7, is it not 12? Correct. Come next. 5 plus 8, is it not 13? Now look at the formula. Look at this formula. Excel A1, A2, right? When I come down, A1, A3. The A2 that I didn't lock is changing, but the one I lock remain fixed. That's what we call absolute reference. You use the dollar sign to lock it. Once you lock it, if you copy it to anywhere, Excel will not help you and change it. So many people do not know about this thing. They don't know that there is a function like this in Excel. Their own is just to be copying cell. They will not be wondering why Excel is giving them a wrong answer. This is the reason. You are not locking your cell. You are not telling Excel, what I want you to do is to lock this thing. Don't move it. Once you are able to communicate to Excel, Excel can never give you a wrong answer. Yes. Okay. Someone said I should explain again. All right. I will explain one more time. Please pay attention. Yeah. Now, the difference between absolute and relative is that on absolute, you will lock it. It will not change. Relative used to change. How do you turn a cell from relative to absolute? Is by putting the dollar sign. Dollar sign is your way of saying lock. The same way I told you that equals to sign means you are telling Excel that I want to write formula. The same way, when you put dollar sign, you are telling Excel, help me and lock this thing. It's as simple as that. You will touch the cell, then you will come before the cell and put the dollar sign. I like putting the dollar sign before the row and before the column. Do you know why? If I put it like this, Excel can think I'm locking only this cell A. If I remove the dollar sign and I put it here, Excel might think I'm locking only row 1, but once I put it in the two side, Excel will know that I want to lock this cell. So once I lock this cell, no matter the formula I do, when I copy it, it will not change. So now I've locked this cell, right? You see. Then I now say, okay, oh, plus this one, because I want this 5 to add everything, but I don't want to type it manually. And I touch this 2. I press enter. It gives me 7, which is actually correct. Then I copy it, the formula. Once I paste it, Excel will know what I want to do. I want 5 to add 3. Once I paste it, it adds 7. Once I paste it, it add 13. Once I paste it here, because there is nothing here, you see that it will give me back 5. Watch and see. See, it gives me back 5. It's as simple as that. Absolute and relative referencing. So I've explained what absolute referencing means. I've explained what relative reference means. At this junction, I expect you that when you are using your Excel, you don't make the same mistake that other people that do not know about it will make. You have learned something they do not know about. So I expect you to put it into practice. Now, for the last thing we're going to be doing tonight, we only have one more lecture for this night, and it is introduction to functions. I'm going to be giving us just simple functions. I'm not going to be giving us much functions because this is an introductory class to function. There is a day dedicated for functions next week. Now, this is where I flex my muzu in Excel. I flex my muzu in Excel. Do you know why? If you know functions, people's not people, you are a pro, because you know what you want to do. You know, you in fact what we will take now. Let me do something so that you understand what is the meaning of function and why I'm telling you can flex your muzu. Let's type a random number. Let's just be typing it. I'm just typing, not any, not in any particular order. All right, I want to show you something. All right, I've typed 17 numbers. If I say I want to add all this thing now with the formula, with the method I teach you now. Remember, oh, equals to, then I'll start A1 plus A2 plus A3 plus A4. When will I finish? When will I finish? And there are some cell, they are like 1,000. So I will not be clicking it. A1, A2, A3, A4, A5 till I get to 1,000. That's a waste of time. That is where function coming. With function, life is easier. Now let me show you what function can do. Let me show you something very, very easy. Equals to, I want to add all this thing. Is that not it? What's the function for addition? The function is called sum. All I have to do is to type sum. I open the bracket. I will touch the first cell. I will put hyphen. I say hyphen, sorry. I'll put colon. Then I will touch the last cell. That's all. And if I know it, I don't have to touch it. The last cell is A17. I'll just come here and type A17. Enter. As simple as that. Something that is supposed to take me 10 minutes. Okay, let's make it interesting. Watch this. Let me make it interesting. I've copied this and I've pasted. See that it's plenty. It's very plenty. We are already at how many? That's like 68. 68 cell. If I now start A1 plus A2 plus A3 plus A4 plus A4, when will I finish? All I have to know, okay, the last one is 68 abi. Okay, no problem. I'll just come here. Equals to summation A1 hyphen A68. Enter. That's all. That's all. That's the what function does. Function teaches you how to be a pro on Excel. Once you know the function, you are settled. For example, let me use another function. I want to know the average number. I will now start calculating 5 plus 2 plus 3 plus 7 plus 8 plus 1 plus 2 divided by, no, now I'll just type the function average. Once I type it, I will touch it. A1 column A what? 68 abi? We'll put 68, enter. One hand, they give me the average. No headache, no anything. All you have to know is just to know the function. I'm going to be giving us a list of functions um by the time we finish the boot camp. I think the last week, yes, the last week, I'll be giving us a list of functions that we can use wherever we find ourselves, so that whenever we just carry the function, even though you don't know it on your head, once you know what you want to look for, once you check it, the function will be side by side. So I think that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to be stopping here. We have a session dedicated to formulas next week. So by that time, I'm going to explain more about formulas in that class. All right, so I have said it that today's session will be going to be very short. I want us to be able to assimilate and learn what we have taught today. We saw three things. The first one being to um, intro to formulas. Second one being relative and absolute cell reference, and the third one being Excel functions. All right. So I'm going to be giving us the room. Do we have questions? If you have questions, you can ask. Depending on the turnout, there's every possibility that we might not hold our classes on YouTube starting from next week. But if the turnout is large, if we are going to be holding the class on YouTube, I'm going to make it a private class, which means that you cannot access it on a public space. Even when you come to the channel, you will not be able to access the class except I send the link to you directly. And when I send the link to you directly, you will not be able to share it with another person. The reason is because I'm going to take a roll call of the people I send the link to, and everyone that joins in will take permission from me, and I'll be able to see that. So it's either we move to Google Meet, or I create a Telegram. I already have a Telegram channel for data analysis. I can move us to our Telegram channel, or we use a private section of the YouTube. I have three options that I can juggle around depending on the number of inflow of the students that is going into the advanced level, just so you can know. All right, I think we have done justice to today's topic. If you want to learn more about Excel, you want to become a better person in Excel, I will advise you to further in the lectures. Notwithstanding, I've made it a point that learning is the goal. So I'm going to be dropping videos on Excel on the YouTube channel from time to time. You can always check these videos, watch them, learn, and improve your Excel skills. So, and you can also share this to your friends, you can share this to your families, you can tell this class to somebody. The recordings are going to still be available for the general public. So please, I know you have benefited a lot from the one, the two, and this is the three. They too can benefit. You can share the group link to them, you can share the YouTube channel to them, and tell them to come and learn the basics of Excel for free. I'm not going to be monetizing this first week lecture. I'm going to be leaving it on the YouTube channel forever. So please do well to spread the good news to as many people that you can. And I know the good Lord will bless you as you do that. All right, somebody's asking a question. Said, is it possible to have the list of the function regarding all the basic? Yes, the list of the function I'm going to be giving you contains more than basic functions, even advanced functions. It is going to be more like a comprehensive list of frequently used functions. Yes, guaranteed it is going to be something that you can use. All right. Do we have anything to say? Okay, somebody is asking, what do you use to copy? I explained that in our first class. You didn't go through our first class. I said Control C, or you can use, I taught us three methods of copying. We can use Control C, we can use the clipboard angle on the ribbon bar, or we can right click and copy. Three methods I taught us in the first class, and I also mentioned it in the second class. Please go and rewatch those videos, and I know that you are going to learn valuable things from them. Just because you have watched it before does not mean you know everything about it. Yes, I've watched the day one already. I've watched the day two. Please go back and rewatch it. Make sure you have learned everything you can learn. Exhaust it. I knew I was a little bit fast and I took my time to explain some things which might be hard to assimilate for someone that is a total beginner. That is why I'm advising you to go back, read, learn, jot, and make sure you practice. Practice makes perfect. Thank you very much. All right. I think that will be all for tonight. We're going to be going straight to the WhatsApp group. If you have comments, if you have testimonial concerning the class, please do well to share. I know that you have been blessed, as I have also been blessed for blessing you. So, thank you for joining in tonight. Thank you for being around. Thank you for um, your patience, for the sacrifice, for your data, and for the hunger to learn. I pray that the Lord will crown it with all the sources that you need. Thank you very much. At this junction, we call it a night. See you in the advanced class. Come next week. Don't forget that on Saturday we're going to be having on Sunday, yeah, Sunday evening, we're going to be having a quiz, and the quiz is going to also have giveaways for those in that group. The last 2 weeks we had quizzes for the general house, and all those that won the quiz, they got gifts. Now those in the advanced class will be getting bigger gifts, and it is going to be a learning experience. It's going to be a wonderful session. Not to forget that the best student is going home with 10,000 naira. It was not bluffing on the flyer, it was real. And I don't promise what I cannot give. If you have noticed from the day one, whatever I say I will do, I will surely do. So look at it as a scholarship from me for being the best student. What's the criteria for you to be the best student? You must attend the lectures, you must submit all your assignments on time, you must participate in the capstone project, and finish with flying colors. That's that. See you next time. Thank you. Good night.